It was a phone call that shattered the pre-dawn quiet. The voice on the other end was frantic. A chauffeur, Adriano de Souza. He'd just heard a gunshot echo from inside a mansion some called a castle. His boss, Phil Spector, emerged holding a gun and said, "I think I killed somebody." Spector was no ordinary man. He was a music legend, a reclusive genius. The date, February 3, 2003. The place, Alhambra, California, at Spector's Pyrenees Castle. Police arrived to find actress Lana Clarkson dead. Spector was the only other person there. The news sent shockwaves through Hollywood. The legend was now at the center of a murder investigation. The first chapter of a Hollywood tragedy had just begun, and it all started with a single chilling phone call. To understand the shock, you have to understand the legend. Phil Spector was the architect of the wall of sound, transforming pop music in the 1960s with his dense, layered approach. His hits, Be My Baby, You've Lost That Lovin' Feelin', became the soundtrack of a generation. Spector's influence stretched far beyond the 60s, working with legends like John Lennon and the Ramones. But behind the genius was a darker side, stories of erratic behavior and obsession with guns. No one imagined that darkness would lead to tragedy. The legend's legacy was on the line. The cost of his darkness would overshadow all the music he ever made. Lana Clarkson was a 40-year-old actress, best known for the cult film Barbarian Queen. She'd come to Hollywood with big dreams, but by 2003 she was working as a hostess at the House of Blues. On February 2nd, Phil Spector visited the club. He was a regular known for his odd behavior. Clarkson didn't recognize him at first, but later agreed to join him for a drink after her shift. She got into his limousine. They drove to his mansion, the last ride she'd ever take. What happened inside the castle remains a mystery. Prosecutors argued Spector had a history of threatening women with guns. They said he became enraged when Clarkson tried to leave, forcing her into a chair and pulling the trigger. The defense claimed Clarkson was depressed and that she took her own life with Spector's gun. Spector insisted she kissed the gun. The physical evidence was crucial. A close-range gunshot, blood spatter on Spector's coat. The prosecution said it proved he was close when the gun went off. The defense argued otherwise. The case would hinge on forensic science and the testimony of other women who described terrifying encounters with Spector and his guns. Their stories painted a picture of a man who used fear to control. The stage was set for a dramatic courtroom battle. Hollywood's dark side was about to be exposed. The truth about that night would be fought over in court, and the world would be watching. The tragedy was only beginning to unfold. Phil Spector's trial began in 2007, but it felt like Hollywood itself was on trial. The case exposed the dark side of fame, where power protected bad behavior. Spector arrived daily in wild wigs, a fallen genius, now a murder defendant. The prosecution built its case on a pattern. Women testified about nights ending with Spector pulling a gun, locking doors, and becoming a monster. Their stories suggested Lana Clarkson's death was the tragic end to a long pattern of violence. The defense attacked the witnesses' credibility and painted Clarkson as desperate and depressed. The trial became a battle of experts, arguing over blood spatter and gun angles. After months, the first jury deadlocked, a mistrial, but prosecutors tried again. The second trial was televised. The world watched as evidence and testimony replayed. In 2009, the verdict came, guilty of second-degree murder. The music legend was going to prison. The verdict sent a message. Even in Hollywood, legends aren't above the law. Spector's fall from grace was complete. The myth was gone. Justice at last had a voice. The story had changed Hollywood forever, and the world would never forget. Phil Spector's conviction was a landmark moment. For years, his genius excused his behavior, but Lana Clarkson's death changed everything. The trial forced Hollywood to confront power, abuse, and accountability. Spector was sentenced to 19 years to life, maintaining his innocence until his death in prison in 2021. His musical legacy is undeniable, but forever tied to tragedy. He'll be remembered as both a genius and a convicted murderer. The case is a cautionary tale. Talent and fame don't make someone good. Lana Clarkson's story matters too. She was more than a victim. She had dreams, cut short by violence. Her tragedy is part of Hollywood's darker narrative. These stories remind us, behind the glamour, real lives are at stake. If you're drawn to the intersection of fame and true crime, there's always more to explore. These are the stories that linger, long after the music fades. Subscribe for more deep dives into the cases that captivated the world.